of Nigeria and Chairman of the Council, Mrs. Fumi Egundayo, advocated inclusiveness of corporate and chartered secretaries and administrators across boards to enable them make inputs on professional issues that would bring about sustainable development, while the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, Mr. Babatunde Oladipo, stressed the need for synergy in tackling professional issues for optimal success.
To have discussions around pertinent issues that would necessitate sustainable development and a good handshake between all the players within the different segments of the economy towards ensuring that we get this right.
In a lecture on the topic Driving Sustainable Development, Public-Private Partnership as a Catalyst, Dr. Tayo Aduluju encouraged investments in natural resources for a sustainable development while urging all to be ready to explore new approaches of getting things done in order to achieve economic growth and the overall success of the country.
Sustainable development has to be a breakaway. It's not about profit maximization. Being economically sustainable and environmentally sustainable in a way where profit does not become a trade-off for doing good.
The event featured fire chats and roundtable discussion where State Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Linus Nkan, Chief Compliance Officer and Company Secretary, Orlando PLC, Ms. Ayotola Jagan, Vice President of the Institute and Company Secretary, MTN Nigeria, Mrs. Uto Upana, and others deliberated on ways forward to achieving sustainable development in the states and the country at large. High points of the event was the presentation of awards of excellence to distinguished secretaries and administrators.
An American-based non-profit charity organization, Fuller Harris Foundation, Incorporated, has donated 1 million books to the governor's wife, Pastor Patience Umoino, towards the setting up of a library. Also revealed plans to establish a vocational school in the state. The executive members of the foundation officially presented the books to the governor's wife at Government House, Uyo, noting that their aim is to promote reading culture among students. Margaret Bassey reports.
The First Lady, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Deputy Governor, Dr. Grace Jim, noted that the meeting signaled the beginning of a rewarding collaboration between the state government through her office and the foundation, is praising optimism that the partnership in the education, agriculture and healthcare sectors of the state would yield tangible results. While thanking the group for donating 1 million books and for nursing plans to build a vocational school to provide various skills for Akwa Ibom women and youths, Pastor Patience Eno noted that the group's initiative would complement some pillars of the Arise agenda of the present administration, as well as her pet project, the Golden Initiative for All. She informed the team that already the state government is currently building model primary schools across the 31 local government areas of the state, which will all be equipped with state-of-the-art learning facilities, with provisions made for free books, shoes, uniform, and school bags for the pupils, explaining that the aim is to create a comfortable and attractive environment that is conducive for learning.
By providing this large number of books and creating libraries and an vocational school, the foundation will be promoting the reading culture among our youth, thus arming them with the requisite tools to succeed academically.
The president and CEO of the Fuller Harris Foundation Incorporated, Dr. Fuller Harris, declared her intention to support the state government to enhance literacy through the provision of books to support reading culture, as well as a special education partnership to establish a vocational school in Akwa Ibom State. Ambassador Fuller Harris, who said the books donated, including bedtime stories for toddlers, novels, and scientific books, will be beneficial to those interested in nursing, university students, and others. Also disclosed her interest in mentoring people to make a difference in different phases in life.
I am going to make sure we work together to help our children to be better than me and to be helping others, because when you teach them how to fish, they will fish and help their family.
A major supporter of the foundation, Pastor Babajide Balogun, commended the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umoino, for his innovative vision of the Arise agenda and announced plans by the foundation to collaborate with the humanitarian organization of the governor's wife, GIFA, to actualize the many lofty programs of Pastor Patience Umoino in the thematic areas of women empowerment through agriculture, healthcare, and education, which he noted is the door that opens opportunities.
When you empower women and the youth, there's going to be a training, there's going to be apprenticeship, and it's not only going to stop here. We want to carry it throughout all the states in the country.
High point of the event was the symbolic presentation of a few copies by Dr. Arit Harris to the wife of the governor. The 6-man delegation later visited the Christ the King Model Primary School, where they expressed happiness over the quality of infrastructure provided by Akwa Ibom State government. Margaret Bassi, Akbc News.
The Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiongofo, has tasked youths of any local government to eschew violence and drugs in all they do and support the Umoino administration to succeed. The Commissioner gave the advice when she met with the constituents of Itumbonuzo, Ward 3, in any local government area. Eyageno Paul reports.
Addressing the gathering at the grounds of Franco Memorial Secondary School and Anamong, Dr. Fiongofo appreciated the group for organizing the interactive session and commended the high turnout of youth in the ward. Dr. Fo, who was flanked by her spouse, Dr. Samuel Ofo, admonished the youth to desist from drug abuse for their safety and mental health, noting that they have a major role to play in developing themselves for a better future. Emphasizing on the protection of government assets in the area, the Commissioner assured that the government will look into the requests made by them and challenges facing the area for necessary action, and lauded Governor Umoino for his commitment in agriculture, rural development, and other sectors of the state's economy.
Let me thank His Excellency the Governor for the privilege of serving in EXCO. I'm eternally grateful to God and to the Governor for this opportunity. I thank God for the privilege of meeting with the young people from this ward. You hear them say the slogan, build the youth, build the nation. But the youth also have a responsibility inside building themselves. So my late father used to say, and for the emotion you have moved, for your solidarity, for all that you are doing to move Akwa Ibom State in the local government and Ward 3 forward, I appreciate you for all that.
A youth leader, Parawa Ubongpa, noted that the interaction with the Commissioner was to chart a new course for unity, development of the area, and the state at large. While describing the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiongofo, as an amazing personality, Mpa commended Governor Eno for appointing a daughter of Ini into the State Executive Council. The youth leader reassured the governor of the unalloyed support throughout his term in office and urged others to acknowledge the leadership role of Dr. Fo in the ward.
But God has found us worthy. So the governor of Akwa Ibom said, His Excellency Pastor and found our sister worthy and fit to be appointed into the Akbc State Executive Council. And we are here also to reaffirm our support for His Excellency the Governor for his uninterrupted 8 years in this government.
In their separate remarks, the PDP chairman in Ward 3, Mr. Isaiah Uye, who is an aide to the governor, Mr. Lawrence Isse, youth chapter leader, Mr. Paul Isse, Engineer Samuel Okata, Dr. Matthew Isse, Nkoyo Isse, among others, emphasized on unity and peace to engender progress in the community.
Because as I want to go somewhere, can I go you? Can I come and no more employment? They are about to do we take I'm already taking the code.
We are going to back you up. We are ready to support you all the way.
Let us begin to preach love. Let us begin to love ourselves.
High points of the interaction was the adoption of Dr. Ofo as political leader of Ward 3 through a motion moved, seconded by Nsidibe Johnson and Afangide Tom.
Since we have discussed this and we have come to a conclusion that you have done perfectly well, I hereby move a motion of confidence to you that you have done incredibly well. I hereby move.
I, Afangide Tom, hereby second the motion as moved. Those in favor say aye.
Eyageno Paul, Akbc News.
The member representing Akbc in an Eastern Obolo Federal Constituency, Udwa Ududo, has floated a 5-day free comprehensive medical outreach for his constituents. The outreach, which commenced Monday, July 8 at General Hospital Akbc, covers free OPD, drugs, general gyno operations, ultrasound scans, lab tests, free reading glasses, dental surgery, and scaling and polishing prosthetic services, and oral health education. Oyokoswa tells us more.
Addressing his constituents at the flag-off session for the exercise, the federal lawmaker said the outreach was part of his campaign promises and meant for all members of the constituency, irrespective of party affiliations. He also promised that it will be carried out annually throughout the duration of his stay in the National Assembly.
From our estimates, the OPD department, we are targeting 1,000. General surgery is about 500. Subspecialties 200. Eye services 1,000 and above. Health awareness and cancer 1,000. Please, this event is not having any political affiliation. And each year we are going to improve and consolidate, because health, they say, is wealth.
The medical outreach was declared open by the Commissioner for Health, Akwa State, Professor Augustine Omo, who commended Udwak Odudo for helping the government cater for the health needs of his people.
As a government and as a ministry, we encourage people to give back to their communities. Because when you do that, you are actually also helping us in our work by ensuring that the people have good health. As the outreach holds throughout this week, I call on people to step forward, make the best use of this opportunity.
Political stakeholders of the constituency and some beneficiaries bid their minds.
First term and second term, we have seen its hallmarks, we have seen its stars. Now it's the National Assembly, and he has stepped up his performance.
I just want to thank the House member for what he has done, and I pray God to continue to help him.
I did not see, but now I have seen it very well. So I really thank my brother
Much okay now with the glasses given to me. I can read very well now, clearly and boldly.
I came here for eye cleanup, eye test. So I've been given the eyeglass and drugs for malaria.
At the end of the 5 days, more than 30,000 members of the constituency are expected to have been reached across the medical areas covered. Uyoko Uswa, Akbc News.
In its renewed efforts at scaling up agricultural productivity and socioeconomic fortunes of the people, the chairman, Ikono Local Government Transition Committee, Mr. Kingsley Akpan Monday, distributed 5,000 palm fruit seedlings for cultivation in the area. The oil palm program under the Ikono Oil Palm Project is intended to show up the area's advantage as a major oil palm belt in the country by getting every village in the area to embrace oil palm cultivation. The report.
The chairman, Mr. Kingsley Akpan, while launching the Ikono Oil Palm Project, stated that he was inspired by Pastor Omono's passion in developing rural areas in the state, noting that the council will continue to sustain the program to boost economic productivity. He said this initiative is inspired by Pastor Omono's leadership style. Mr. Akpan explained that the project aims to support the state government's agricultural initiatives and reactivate community investment in oil palm production that would provide a source of income for communities to address emergency needs.
To not just key into the vision of His Excellency, the government, but to also interpret it in ways that benefit our people by redirecting investments in areas where we have comparative advantages, thereby boosting the local economy and easing off government some avoidable pressure.
Ambassador Alphonsus Inyang, consultant and president of the National Palm Association of Nigeria, commended the people of Ikono for their support and assured that the selected palm tree species will generate income for the community. He urged the communities to carefully nurture the plants as investors are ready to support the project.
From Mpong and the program from the local government chairman, so that
Engineer Sami Ekpenyong, chairman of Ikono Oil Palm, Paramount ruler Edidem Nanait Metang, and others emphasized the importance of taking the initiative seriously, as it has the potential to be a profitable business.
Anybody
The Akbc TV Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists Monday celebrated the immediate past chairman of the chapel, Comrade Udwarekong, who has been appointed the press secretary to the wife of the governor. Also celebrated was another member of the chapel who was appointed special assistant to the governor on electronic media, Comrade Samuel Ayara. The new chairman of the chapel, Comrade Eyageno Paul, said the gesture was to appreciate the immediate past chairman's resilience and commitment while she was in office. She also maintained the contributions of Comrade Samuel Ayara while he was a staff of the television newsroom. Udwak Okposen reports.
Addressing the July Congress of the Chapel, the chairman of the Akbc TV Chapel of the NUJ, Comrade Eyakeno Paul, said Udoikon, who is the press secretary to the governor's wife, has performed creditably in just 1.5 years in office. The reason the chapel is celebrating her. She saluted the S8 governor, Comrade Samuel Ayara, for being a partner in progress in the chapel, promising that the chapel will continue to wish them well in their new offices. Comrade Paul, who promised to emulate the virtues of the former chairman in order to attract positive impact to the chapel, she sued for support and unity from members of the chapel.
We decided that we are going to appreciate members, some of our members who have stepped aside. They're still part of the chapel, but they've created positive impact in this chapel. For these two members that have made us proud, we've come today to celebrate them, to appreciate them in our own little way.
The head of department TV Akbc, Comrade Mando Esienebon, Director of Sports, Comrade Justice Udosoro, Head Reportorial, Comrade Edom Asani, Comrade Miriam Ekbutu, Comrade Anthony Efion, and Comrade Margaret Bassi appreciated Comrade Udoikon and Comrade Samuel Ayara for their legacies to the chapel.
Remember that God is sending you there for a purpose. May God be with you in the course of your assignment.
So what the chapel has done today is a double-edged sword. One, is going to inspire them to be more committed to the chapel. And on the other hand, it's going to also make this chapel to have better relationship.
So Ayara and Odwa, congratulations once again.
I thank God for the gift of them, and I know the good works that they've started here in the chapel. They will continue it, and they will continue doing here.
We thank God for two of them.
Each time I look at these two, I'm always proud that they are our products.
Yes.
I want to urge them to continue to make us proud.
Souvenirs were presented to the press secretary to the wife of the governor, Comrade Udoikon, and special assistant to the governor on electronic media, Comrade Samuel Ayara. Comrade Udoikon and Comrade Samuel Ayara thanked the chapel for the honor done them and promised to continue to support the chapel.
I didn't see this coming. Thank you so much. I can only assure you that I will always be a member of this chapel. And
so I greatly really appreciate this, and let me say that in ways than few, this will really motivate my punks to return to the chapel.
The certificate of the Gender-Based Violence Committee to the chapel, signed by the wife of the governor, Pastor Patience Umoino, was presented to the house. Ubrabasi Okbusan, Akbc News.
We take a short break now, but just before we go, federal government releases 60 trucks of fertilizer to all states to boost food sufficiency. This and more when we come back. Stay with us.
Akwa State has truly entered its golden era. It was deliberate that we made agriculture the first letter of the Arise acronym.
To ensure food security by bringing down commodity prices, the government launched a Back to Farm initiative and also acquiring hectares of rich, fertile land across all the 31 local government areas for farming. The Arise Food Security Program was also launched to cater for the most vulnerable through the Bulk Purchase Agency.
We have also distributed seedlings and other farm inputs to farmers across the state.
To take agriculture to the next level, we've commenced the technology-driven Shanghai type Igbo model farm. This will not only multiply harvest for all farmers, but also reduce their costs of operations by ensuring that nothing goes to waste.
Let's join hands in supporting this government as we build the future of our dear state together. Our Rise agenda is working.
So good to have you back. A devastating flood has left a trail of destruction in its wake, affecting numerous individuals and organizations, including Word of Faith Mission Church in the area alongside other victims. One of the victims, Deaconess Grace Sandeka, a widow managing herself and children in their family house at Nukoritam, lamented that the flood has destroyed everything in their home, leaving them without a roof over their heads as they are in urgent need of shelter, food, and clothing. She said the affected building, which has been the family's only shelter, has now become a river of water, snatching away all their belongings. She urgently calls on the government to provide aid and support in this difficult time. Another victims, Apostle Dr. Imuyire of the Word of Faith Mission, Nukoritam, lamented that the flood has caused significant damage to the church's property and disrupted its activities, leaving members in a state of distress. He said the church building, sound instruments, and furnishings have been severely damaged, leaving the congregants without a place of worship, appealing for financial assistance.
This is a fate we are in since tonight. He has robbed the purpose of God, the mission, everything has been robbed. He has spoiled things. I've gone to government. When the gospel like, "Papi, your time," I was the one that interviewed him into the office. They didn't come. Udom Emmanuel is, after giving about 6 letters, he sent the Commissioner of Works. They were here running, they didn't come.
Between 25 and 26. When we came in here, it has not been like this. But since after the building of the Ikorekone Road by Idoro Road, that this flood started coming here, because all the water is being channeled to this place. And that was 2017 that we started experiencing this kind of a thing. If you can see, this is the church pulpit. All these musical instruments is damaged.
A victim in the area, Udeme Robert, who is a civil servant, said the flood has ruined her year as everything she has worked for in life has been submerged, resulting in monumental material and financial losses. Another victim, Jo Achibom, a businesswoman, was seen trying to remove her goods from one of the affected buildings, lamented that even as she is struggling to recover from the damage, she may not get back on her business ship without assistance, and appeal to the state government to get her business back on track.
So make by your government, Mumboya, any to onion bomb. Now you be a more big can is your give me if no for me, pocket me more than knuckle.
Going out is a problem. We are intact in the house. Hunger has killed us. Please let government come to our head. Government come to our head. Oh, we are suffering here.
Akbc reporter Nyekanupe says over 20 affected victims are calling on government to provide immediate assistance to help them recover from the devastating effects of the flood. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has ruled out tough sanctions against discos that commit infractions capable of inflicting pain on consumers. Among other things, NERC said it will reduce 5% of administrative and operational expenditure of any electricity distribution company that failed to take at least 95% of the total energy allocated to it for distribution. This was contained in the Commission's order on performance monitoring framework for all the discos. According to the order, discos will now be assessed on 7 key performance indicators: energy offtake relative to partial contracted capacities, revenue recovery rates, compliance with API feeder streaming, compliance with the implementation of forum decisions, and compliance with service standard for the resolution of complaints recovered through the NERC Contact Center and NERC. The order stipulates that failure to take up to 95% of available nominations in any month will attract issuance of rectification directive. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubunmi Kuku, has stated that only 3 out of 22 airports under its management are profitable and contribute largely to the growth of the aviation sector. Kuku, who was a guest on a television show Tuesday, said that 19 of the nation's airports under FAN were being subsidized as they do not get passenger traffic commensurate to the operational cost. She further said that the majority of the 22 airports managed by FAN require maintenance and upgrades in critical infrastructure like the terminal areas, the landslide, as well as the airside. Kuku emphasized the importance of prioritizing activities like trade, manufacturing, and tourism to boost air traffic. As part of efforts to address the food crisis in the country, the federal government is sending 60 trucks of fertilizers to each of the states of the Federation. Each of the 109 senators will also receive 2 trucks each to distribute in the constituencies. The Senate, which disclosed the plan on Thursday while debating on the food crisis at plenary, called on the federal government to expedite action on the fertilizer distribution. The call followed a motion moved by Senator Sunday Karimi representing Kogi West and co-sponsored by Senator Ali Ndume of Borno South at Tuesday plenary. The motion, titled Urgent Need to Address Food Insecurity and Market Exploitation of Consumables in Nigeria, noted that in the last few months, the price of goods and household consumables had been on the abysmal rise in the country, leading to a high rate of inflation, weakening buying power, and general worsening of living conditions of the vast majority in Nigeria. Spain has earned their place in UEFA European Football Championship final after a thrilling 2-1 victory against France. The match, held at Munchen Football Arena, saw Spain Dani Olmo scoring the decisive goal, securing their passage to the final in Berlin on Sunday, July 14. In addition to the team's success, Spain's youngest winger, Lamine Yamal, made history by becoming the youngest player ever to feature on a UEFA Euro finals match at just 16 years old. The finals will see Spain facing England after England's 2-1 victory against Netherlands. The upcoming finals promises to be an exciting conclusion of a highly competitive tournament. That's the package this afternoon, but just before we're going to look at the top stories. Governor Moino, on behalf of the government and people of the state, has congratulated Justice Ntom Festus Ntom on his elevation as Justice of Court of Appeal in a statement released by his Chief Press Secretary, Ekeri Tudo. Governor Eno saluted the professional accomplishments of the new Justice of Court of Appeal, saying that the elevation is a clear testament to his professional accomplishing and the great body of work he has put in the advance to advance the temple of justice in Nigeria. As part of efforts to address the food crisis in the country, the federal government is sending 60 trucks of fertilizers to each of the states of the Federation. Each of the 109 senators will also receive 2 trucks each to distribute in the constituencies. In its renewed efforts at scaling up agricultural productivity and socio-economic fortunes of the people, the chairman, Ikono Local Government Transition Committee, Mr. Kingsley Akpan, distributed 5,000 palm fruit seedlings for cultivation in the area. The oil palm program under the Ikono Oil Palm Project is intended to show up the area's advantage as a major oil palm belt in the country by getting every village in the area to embrace oil palm cultivation. An American-based non-profit charity organization, Akbc Harris Foundation Incorporated, has donated $1 million to the governor's wife, Pastor Patience Minor, towards the setting up of a library. Also revealed plans to establish a vocational school in the state. The executive members of the foundation officially presented the books to the governor's wife at Government House, Uyo, noting that their aim is to promote reading culture among students. That's the package this afternoon. We thank you so much for finding time to join us on the news. Good afternoon.